So, we're recording. I was kind of hoping Yuri would say something indecent, but apparently he doesn't feel like it. Thank you, Zach.
You're welcome.
We have
Well, I
started
don't
on the
feel
right
like it because
you're injured.
No, not because of that. Because I've had a very long, boring day.
That's why you need to say something inappropriate.
Fuck you little cock-eating whoremouth.
Dinner first, and a movie.
Shut the fuck up, Jesus Christ.
You walked right into that one.
I don't give a fuck what I walked into. Shut up.
Niet.
I hate you so much.
We're only in the 5th episode, and we are already very tired of doing this. So this might be our final episode. Yes, public.
And it's not that we're tired of this. Me and Yuri just worked all day, so we're tired in general.
Yeah, work. You know, something you never do.
Shut up.
You Argentinian bastard.
Shut up, Yankee.
Andrew doesn't understand what a hard day's work is.
Oh, of course.
No, he does. But his hard day's work is just leaning over a desk drawing. Not even. Doesn't even do that anymore.
It's hard work. It's still hard work. You don't know how hard it is, especially when your eyes they just can't see anymore. I'm going blind, really.
Panzer, shut the fuck up.
How do you expect to lead us into battle?
'Cause I'm leading us!
Bullshit.
The only place Yuri's gonna lead us all is into death.
Well, to Valhalla it is. Come on, all you assholes.
Yeah, but after the Panzercast, before we have to do this shit, then we play PR, and then we can all die. You can shoot me as many times in the face as you'd like.
Unfortunately for us, Gunny's Warhouse doesn't seem to be online.
Don't worry, we're gonna join a PvP server.
Well, I hope you enjoy your night. Goodbye.
You bastard. You will play.
Just kidding. We're gonna join a PvE server.
Okay, little tidbit about me in my personal life. I fucking hate anyone in PvP. I have a huge aversion to it. So much scumbaggery and I hate everyone.
You hate them all equally, like it should be.
Some I hate more than others.
You hate me more than
Haha,
others?
literati joke.
Alright then,
People who read the book that I was referring to will get that joke and will laugh.
Hey, where's the PR patch?
You could update it. Just go to the PR launcher, put your cursor over the launch option, and it should an option to check for updates should pop
Striker.
up. Striker, are you there?
Striker, please kill me.
Yeah.
Please put me out of my misery.
So Zach apparently still needs to update his PR, so...
I hate you all!
Don't worry, you still got me.
What is even talking about?
What?
Andrew, what the fuck you going on about now?
Yeah, don't worry.
Zach hasn't updated his Project Reality.
I've been busy. I
don't
got
may
a
wanna
Red
check
Dawn
something out.
event next weekend I have to get ready for.
Do you think I give a fuck?
Yes. Because you're a Soviet Union scum.
I hate you all so fucking much.
Don't worry, it will only take 10 minutes. But yes, shall we begin the podcast?
We're already recording.
Kill me.
I know, I meant the topics.
Oh, yeah, the topics.
I'm sorry if this is offensive to anybody, but I'm going to be crucifying Zach, so please cover your ears, or you'll be hearing blood-curdling screams.
Okay.
Just to please Yuri.
Yes.
Zach, they're
Zach, I'm
gonna
sorry.
crucify
This is
you.
gonna hurt.
Why don't
That's
you
okay,
say
I'm
sorry
comfortable.
before you hurt someone?
He's Canadian. What else do you
I'm
expect?
Canadian too, and I don't say sorry.
Well, you apologize
Zach,
after
I
the
didn't even say
fact.
sorry. I said, Zach, this is gonna hurt.
Let's just fucking start.
Alright. First topic of the night is, the American Navy's Freedom of the Seas operation in the South China Sea.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Don't worry.
Don't worry what?
It's only a PR event.
Yeah. Well, basically, for those who don't know, a couple of weeks ago, the United States Navy sent one of its destroyers, the USS Lassen, a Harleysburg-class destroyer, to the South China Sea, crossing within the 12-mile zone of one of the islands. The thing about this is that China claims that these islands are their territory, and recently it has been building naval and air bases in those islands, often just pretty much reclaiming territory by building entire islands out of pretty much nothing. Well, not quite nothing. Actually, they're just using reefs to create islands. The United States does not recognize these islands as actual territory, and therefore it does not recognize the territorial waters that the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea recognizes as legal sea territory of that country. So China claims it's its territory. The United States, on the other hand, claims, "Oop, this
And
is our
chances
turf."
are a bunch of other countries in the area also agree with the U.S.
Yep,
At least in my opinion.
I agree with the U.S.
Yeah,
So you can't build.
You can't build islands in open water that has no territorial value to it and say, mine now!
yeah. The United
Except
Nations.
China did.
Yeah, well, the Convention of the Law of the Sea stipulates that you can't really claim a territory if said territory is underwater, and reefs usually are underwater. You can see them from the surface, but they're still submerged, so technically...
If you look close enough, you can see them.
Yeah, but still, they're submerged, so they don't count out. They don't count as territory. They're not proper islands. What China is doing, as I'm showing now on the video, is that they're for the last several months they have been increasing the size of these artificial islands by just pumping a lot of sand into them. And
The process is called dredging.
dredging, right? So
Panzer, how do you think Dubai got so much bigger?
yeah, they've gotten pretty big. Big enough that virtually every island is now pretty much a air base that they can accommodate bombers, fighter jets, basically making the South China Sea into, well, a kill zone for anything that tries to enter those waters.
How Japanese of them.
Indeed.
Ironic, don't you think?
Indubitably. Fuck! I can't English.
Yeah, you're tired, don't worry.
Shut up.
So, basically, China has issued a stern warning with some officials and state-owned media telling the United States that it is not afraid of going to war over the territory. The China basically claims the entire South China Sea for itself, putting it at odds with other countries such as Vietnam, the Philippines, Brunei, Indonesia.
Japan.
Actually, that would be the East China Sea, but yeah, there is another territorial dispute with them, specifically on the Senkaku/Diaoyu Islands.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of pre-World War II all over again.
Heck, some Chinese hawks even go further and claim that Okinawa is technically Chinese territory because the kingdom there a few centuries ago paid tribute to one of the Chinese dynasties.
Nobody gives a shit how long ago China was praised.
Nobody gives a shit but the Chinese.
Who gives a shit about China?
Yeah, well, considering that China is gonna become the first world economy if it's not already, yeah. Power does tend to make some countries pretty power hungry. Wait, no.
Whose phone was that?
Yeah, pick up the phone.
That was the fax machine.
Oh,
Who sends faxes?
wait, faxes in the 21st century? What the hell is going on?
I know, right?
A lot of places still use fax machines, you retarded moron.
No, but I mean, like,
Every government office uses fax machines.
no, which household owns a fax machine?
A couple if they have their own business.
My mom has her own business and she doesn't have a fax machine.
Okay, so what's your take on this issue with freedom of navigation? So you guys said you supported the United States position that it's not Chinese territory.
Well, I just support the position that China has no right to suddenly lay claim, but I don't support the Americans in any certain way.
Why?
Because
Traitor.
Shut up! We have our own...
Assholes.
Yeah, we have our own matters to attend to until we can actually pay attention to little kid America.
Traitor.
Little kid America, you guys are gonna pay for that. And I'm German. So.
Actually, technically speaking, you're a younger country than us.
Technically speaking, we're the second largest landmass, so shut the fuck up,
True.
little America.
We don't have
Wait.
we don't have half our army spread out around the globe.
Yeah.
Wait, that
You
makes
will
us
soon.
the Roman Empire.
In all honesty, Zach, everybody just hates Americans.
Yep.
Oh,
I don't know, you just hate our politicians.
I don't. I like America. I like politicians.
I've met certain Americans that are total dicks.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Total asshole.
I still
Also,
like.
most of Americans completely retarded.
I still like Ike.
Yeah.
Because what American... like, every American I've talked to didn't know Canada was in the First World War or the Second. Because you fucking whitewashed us, you fucking limey Yankees.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, you know what the problem is? Is the fact that
All idiots.
history. It depends on which what history you're taking, because a lot of history back in high school and whatnot, unless you're taking AP US or AP Europe,
Fuck
whatever.
the U.S. educational system, Jesus.
Well, here's the thing. I knew, even before high school, that Canada fought in World War I and World War II.
This is why I love you.
Oh my.
Talking
Okay,
to you after the podcast.
You had to make it sound weird now. God damn it.
It was weird from the start.
Yeah.
But
There's gonna be a vicious buggering afterwards.
yep.
But the thing is, a lot of just due to the Department of Education, or what's being rammed down a lot of schools' throats, and because a lot of teachers nowadays are communist fucktards who want to whitewash everything, they don't teach a lot of history. They just water it down and try to make America and its allies evil. Just Canada.
There's a few things that America is evil about.
Oh yeah, I know. Trail of Tears, anyone?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was a dick move by President. What's it? I always forget his name. Is it Andrew Taylor?
Is it Truman?
No. I always forget.
Who the fuck cares? They're dead anyways.
Yeah.
What
And
do
who
we
the
say,
hell
Frank?
cares about what? And besides, Zach, you guys
Yeah.
fucked up so much in World War II, it's not even funny.
Yep.
Everyone fucked up during World War II.
You know, if the
That-
Canadians didn't take Antwerp, the Cold War would have started in the Second World War.
Yeah.
Because the Russians didn't want to fuck with the Canadians after they basically beat the shit out of the SS.
Oh, no. Well, the funny thing is, the Korean War would have never started if we didn't decide on the 38th parallel.
So
That
much shit.
Korean War would have happened anyway if there was still South and North, if there was North and South Korea.
Well, yeah,
regard-
that's the thing.
There's just too
If
much
we
bitterness.
the thing is, one of the reasons why it happened was that they both the Soviet Union at the time was aiming for the 38th parallel, and because they were thinking they were going to have to compromise. The fact that we chose the 38th parallel surprised them as well. So, things here and there also happened along the way.
AKA, America fucks up. They kill, and in World War II they sacrificed hundreds of thousands of their own men for no gain.
Actually, no, we fucked up for Vietnam. We should have just kicked the French out.
Now, Zach, you guys fucked up in World War II. In one campaign, several thousand men dead.
Market Garden?
No, Patton killed off like 4,000 of his men.
Sicily?
No, the Lorraine region of France, you fucking retard.
Wasn't that when Patton charged too far ahead of the supply line?
And no, that was actually during the Mets campaign, Yuri, the one where he friggin' kept throwing men at the friggin' forts.
Ah.
Yeah, Patton was kind of a...
He was a cavalryman from
was.
World War One.
So
was.
basically, yeah, the instant he hit the biggest fortifications in French, basically, in the fortress town of Metz, he basically sacrificed several thousand infantry for no gains until he could finally get
Yeah.
into the bunker.
Why do you think they pretty much busted him down and put Bradley in charge of him?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
No, Bradley got put in charge after Patton made a fuck up in Sicily. If it wasn't for that fuck up in Sicily, Bradley would still be under Patton.
Yeah,
And America would lose more men.
exactly.
Oh, fuck.
Why did
Now,
you put Bradley over Patton then? That's just being an asshole.
Oh, my.
In all honesty, Patton is regarded because when he can use his tanks, fuck, yeah, everybody runs away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, you know about the Maginot Line, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most fortified position in all of France.
Yeah. Which actually served its purpose.
Until the Germans went around it.
No. Here's the thing is, the thing is,
Okay, no. Here's the Maginot Line. The Maginot Line. Biggest concrete bunker fortification in France.
And
that's
No,
what the French
get through
were
it.
expecting. They
But
were
there's a
expecting
fucking
to fight.
forest.
They were expecting to fight in Belgium. That's why they built the Maginot Line so that they could essentially use Belgium as a speed bump.
They weren't expecting the tanks to go through trees.
They still got fucked
Yeah,
up.
they were expecting the fighting to occur in the northern part of Belgium, you know, where all the cities are. They weren't expecting the Wehrmacht to go through the forest. What's the forest name again?
the Ardennes.
Yeah, the Ardennes forest. Because back in World War One, they tried that as well to go through the Ardennes forest, and they had a logistical nightmare.
Yeah, what was the name
German
of
army expected a logistical nightmare as well, but
Tank to knock down tree.
no. Well, yeah, it was still a nightmare. It's just that the fact that the French army fucking sucked, and when it came to reactionary,
It wasn't that. The French weren't prepared or as military equipped to handle a blitzkrieg from panzers and tigers.
Not so much
they
tiger,
had a force
at
in the
time,
north.
The Panzerfire.
Their reactionary forces sucked.
Oh yeah.
Zach, also,
France was pretty much
they just got
unprepared on that
outmaneuvered because when you
occasion.
look at what the French had in World War II, their armored arsenal sucked shit.
However, the Germans did fear the Shaw B1.
Yeah.
Which I think is fucking hilarious, because look at that goddamn thing.
Why they went to North Belgium is because you take the town. If you can take the towns, that's a force. That's an area of supply you can take from a conquered country.
Mm-hmm.
And tanks in the forest, yes, they can knock trees down, but putting tanks in the forest, not the best idea. Easy to sneak up on one with a bazooka.
So, I think we have gone off topic once again.
Yeah,
True to the
shut
spirit
up.
of this
Yeah.
Panzercast.
Yeah, who cares? We're talking, we're laughing.
Ha 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 ha.
We should just stop having fucking topics.
Now we do have a lot of topics. Let's see. Yuri was mentioning their brand new badass defense minister.
Is it sick?
Canada, under the new Trudeau government, or Trudeau administration, the new defense minister, whose name is, I am terribly, terribly sorry, Harjit Sajjan. I know I really fucked it up.
Sajjan.
Okay, that. Apparently, he's a Sikh, and he was he served tours in Bosnia and Afghanistan.
AKA a really smart military man who's gonna fuck up everybody who wants to fuck with Canada.
And also, he created his own version of his. He made his own gas mask to work with his beard.
Yeah, because according to the Sikh religion, they cannot shave their beard off.
Yep,
Yeah.
So, yeah,
And they have to carry a knife everywhere.
a big sword actually.
You know, oh, that sounds nice. But
I don't think
going
that's
back
it.
to the gas mask, I certainly hope this guy actually made a whole industry out of it because, I mean, come on, a gas mask for a bearded man, that's gonna sell hot in the Middle East.
That's
No.
Or
probably-
for all the operators.
That is
That's
lit.
probably in the Indian Army.
Yeah.
You know, there's something about a really good battle beer that just commands respect. I got the picture. I got the picture on the video that you sent me, Yuri.
Video.
Yeah, I'm recording the video. Remember? Well, I got the picture you sent me. You know, with your brand new defense minister
yeah.
doing his tour in Afghanistan.
The defense minister, since his Sikh background, he was able to understand all in Afghanistan. He was able to understand the tribes and how they coexist or how they hate each other and all that. And the U.S. and Canadian Army relied heavily on this man to help them in Afghanistan with the tribes.
So yeah, he's
And
pretty
also
much.
he was Bosnia.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I always find it good that they select an actual war veteran for the role of Minister of Defense. Because,
Our last defense minister was some bureaucrat who had a suit.
Yeah, it's not a job that you should be letting politicians, and I mean, of the class of politicians, you know, civilian suits, to undertake. While some countries do take it very seriously to actually keep a civilian leadership of the military, certain countries, such as Germany or Argentina, for example, have had a very bad history of the military actually making its own decisions. In countries that have a really strong democratic institution, they should. I fully support that they get a war veteran, not only as defense minister, but also in.
Andrew, you have to remember, none of these countries have been as heavily peace-oriented as ours.
Yeah.
True. Well, what about the
Basically,
Scandinavian countries?
Their background is as a peacekeeper, not as a goddamn rifleman slogging it out in the middle of Afghanistan killing terrorists.
Yeah. That is Canada's role.
Yeah,
We were
so
peacekeepers.
so was pretty
Different
much.
point of view than any other general.
So was pretty much the other 25 or so members of NATO in Afghanistan. Pretty much everyone's got troops there.
Mm-hmm.
You know who
Yes,
would
but
be?
that's
You know what would
ours,
make
kid.
an awesome Department of Defense minister?
Me.
No, a Gurkha.
Oh, dear God.
Speaking of that, you guys ever heard of that story of the Gurkha who chopped the head off from a dead Taliban? I think out of sheer hate or revenge.
No, it was just to show his commanding officer that he killed him.
I just like to think that in the middle of the
Just
battle.
imagine running up to your commanding officer holding this bleeding, severed head. Like, Sarge, I killed him! It's like, Jesus Christ, put that away!
Fury,
I
that's
just like-
Gurkha's way of life.
I just like to think that.
In World War II, the British loved the Gurkhas because they did the brutal shit that no other force could, even the SAS.
Look, I like to think that this guy chopped the head off of that dead Taliban, then went out of the trenches, holding the head off of this guy, showing it to the other Talibans, and the other guys were like, "Holy shit!"
I could just imagine him chopping off the head, just being like,
No,
I'm gonna call
it's
you
sorry.
Sally.
Don't fuck the Gurkhas.
Well, the thing is, for the Middle East, beheading's pretty common.
It's too common for their own good.
It
Yeah,
is.
Stop chopping
unfortunately.
each other's heads off!
Stop
Panzer-
killing each other,
The reason
goddammit.
they do that.
That's our job.
Panzer, Yuri, the reason they do that, it's more of a ritual, it's more of a religious thing, because basically, their idea of the prop, they would go through a whole list of things for a proper funeral. If the body is desecrated by, say, beheading, it kind of frigs the religion.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they do that to anyone that isn't a Muslim, which is...
Yeah, but
That's
they still do that to Muslims and non-Muslims alike. It's,
Well, they just don't... Well, the thing is, they describe them as... because of their faith, if they don't believe the same way they do, then they're not a Muslim.
Panzer, basically, that's all it is. Beheading is the ultimate insult. Oh, I spit upon your god or religion. You don't get a proper funeral.
So basically, what you're saying is we should bring more GAU Avengers into the Middle East.
What we should do is send in a battalion of Gurkhas and give them free range.
Um,
I like where this is going.
also,
I really do.
what I talked about at work with my coworkers, the Canadian Special Forces, JTF2, the government is not allowed to talk about any of their actions. Everyone else talks about their own special forces being like, oh yeah, Delta Force this, Delta Force that. The Canadian government is very tight-lipped on the JTF2.
Well, that's because your own politicians are ashamed of them.
No, that's
Imagine.
because you just don't want to know.
Nobody wants to know. Imagine all the war crimes they're committing.
Dude, they're in the top 10 of the world's most powerful special forces units. At, like, number 4.
Panzer, basically, where we have such brutal terrain compared to you guys in the States, Zach, we can throw our guys in brutal scenarios that toughen them up as hard as the Russians.
Yeah.
That's
Panzer,
true.
look at it this way. The ultimate survival person, that survival man, couldn't survive 10 days in a Labrador winter. I'm pretty sure they send part of our special forces to train in Labrador in the winter.
Yeah.
So if a guy
think
who
all of our
prides
special
himself in
forces do
surviving
that.
in any environment in the world can't survive, then yeah, our spec ops are brutal bastards. Don't fuck with them.
Yep.
Of course.
With
The most
America,
badass is probably
since
the Spetsnaz, though.
they let in everyone, their forces are, no offense, but you guys are shit. Whereas for Canada, we barely let anyone in. Like out of 4,000 people that apply, maybe 100 or so get in.
It's like the SAS. It's a small core unit, but
Yeah.
it's a brutal unit.
What we make up for in lack of military is training. Like a private in the Canadian Army could complete an officer's course in the American Army.
Right.
That's how, because we have to go through everything. We're not just trained to point and shoot people. We're trained to be political in a view of keeping the peace.
Protect the hearts and minds of the people.
Basically, that's why we went to Afghanistan, for the people, not to kill terrorists.
Unlike America, who just said, "Yeah, let's kill them towerheads."
Which is basically what
That
that
sounds
escalated
somewhat
into.
unfair.
Actually, it's totally fair.
Actually,
Shut the fuck up.
if we wanted to do that, it would have been a whole lot easier to just pound the ever-living shit out of them.
But
Or
you
just drop a
didn't.
couple of nukes.
I still-
You guys fucked up. Also, try dropping a nuke in this day and age.
Why
Fuck the
not?
media. We're gonna do it anyways.
Let's do it, yeah.
No, let's not do it.
Yeah, drop a nuke, then you're gonna have the UN kicking you out, and then you're gonna have every environmentalist group in the world boycotting your country.
We'll nuke
I
them
don't
as
care.
well.
Bomb the UN.
You'll basically be kicked out of NATO, the UN.
And then it's gonna be
anything.
World War III on everybody invade the United States and kill every American.
What you guys have
Bomb
to
the
do
Holy
UN.
shit.
is
Holy shit. Listen to this, Zach. It's the peacemakers talking about killing everyone in America.
My God.
what you have to understand is
We're
if
probably
the
still on the board to
UN,
keep you from running.
if the UN Security Council all decides that yes, we should go to war with this country, we're talking about every military that the UN has access to being mobilized and sent to this country.
No, you get a pretty wrong idea of how the United Nations actually works. Pretty
Actually,
much every
Panzer,
country is
that's
defending
what happened.
itself.
Panzer, you forget what happened in the Gulf War. That was a UN-led force that the Americans led in.
Yeah,
Yep.
but that's because everyone pretty much agreed with what the United States said.
Yes. And it was that, and they went to the UN Security Council for it.
Yeah, but the United Nations doesn't really come. The United Nations only gave permission, but the authority in the end really came from America.
Because they were going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
America.
That's
Also,
how
the fact
America
that
rolls.
the U.S.
Security
didn't actually
Council.
clear going into Iraq with the UN as well.
Yeah, they caught a lot of flack humanitarian-wise for that.
The Iraq War was actually illegal.
Well,
It was an illegal war. You guys went in
illegal.
without any
It was
permission.
illegal at the time it happened, but post invasion, the United Nations actually permitted the occupation and therefore legitimize the American presence in Iraq.
Yeah,
After how much arm twisting?
It didn't legitimize
Lot.
the invasion.
Let's see. Food for oil, anyone?
Yeah.
Anyone?
This is why everyone hates you, America.
Food for oil. That's all I have to say.
It's the same
Yeah.
country who sold their top-tier tank to Middle Eastern countries in the thousands.
Moving on.
Yeah.
ISIS bombing a Russian plane.
Yeah. Yeah, for those who have been hiding in a
There's a lot of
hole over the
Ivans
last
died
week.
the end.
Yes?
That's all. A lot of Ivans died. The end.
Yeah. Basically, this plane
Basically.
went down in the Sinai Peninsula.
Sinai. What?
Sinai, how's it pronounced?
Sinai.
Alright.
Alright, Sinai. Have it your way.
Sinai. What the fuck's wrong with you?
English is not my mother tongue.
And
I'm slightly drunk and I got a cold. My pronunciation is shit.
Half our shit we spend in language
as
classes.
well. What's your excuse?
Panzer, that's the other thing the Canadians have to go through. We probably have to spend several months learning secondary languages.
Yeah.
Want
Want to know how long it took for Vimy? A year.
What other languages do you two know about?
Canadians, due to our international agreements for training, off the top of my head, we have to know French. I think
actually,
Middle
Yuri,
East.
French is more taught as a general secondary language to all students in school.
Yeah.
Then you can just take other courses like Spanish and all that shit.
If you're going to be like a translator or an interpreter, you have to go through specialized language courses.
Yeah, you pretty much have to go through a language course from elementary all the way up to high school, at least, right? Am I right?
Exactly.
Yep.
All students learn French, and it's usually taught to them at, say... I started French when I was in grade 4, so yeah.
I started early. I think I started maybe grade 1.
Yeah, it depends on the school district. My school I went to, they started grade 4.
Yeah.
Anyways, back on topic. Last week, a Metrojet flight number 9268 that took off from Sharm el-Sheikh with destination to St. Petersburg, Russia, suddenly crashed in the middle of the Sinai Peninsula with about, how many? 217 passengers on board. No survivors.
Mostly ethnical Russians.
Yeah, pretty much 99% of all passengers were Russian, with a few Ukrainian and I think there was a Georgian there.
So
No,
a couple hundred
Belarusian.
Russians and a Ukrainian board a plane.
Yeah.
That's the start to a very dark joke.
Yeah, so ever since the crash, there is a lot of speculation that the aircraft may have gone down over something else than a mere simple accident.
The ground crew checked it out and it came completely 100% clean. So
Yeah, but there's still
recently
the
I
theory.
read an article that ruled out it was an external explosion.
Yeah, there is a this aircraft had been involved in an incident in 2001 regarding a tail strike, and it has been alleged that it could have been a structural malfunction over time, whereas the damage the tail has taken may have gone bigger and bigger over the years until it finally cracked and the aircraft lost its tail and just fell off the sky. But immediately after the crash, everyone's favorite top villain of the world, the Islamic State, correct, has decided to claim that they are behind this tragedy.
Actually, it's kind of weird, but I'm kind of studying airplane crashes and looking at the wreckage pictures. The tail is way too close to the actual body of the aircraft to have fallen off.
Yeah, it's probably. I believe the Russian media have been releasing some pictures, which is odd because so far, right from the start, the Russian government and the Egyptian government have been claiming that this was nothing more than a simple accident. But Russian media have been releasing pictures from several parts of the aircraft that might actually suggest that the aircraft may have been bombed. And now several governments, including the United Kingdom, the United States,
Are all back to this claim.
Yeah, they have been backing this claim with intelligence, which they haven't really properly shared. They are only saying they have intelligence.
Wait. You mean to tell me that the people in the governments, all these governments, are actually using their brains for once?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a surprise.
Zach, listen to me. Believe it or not, most intelligence agencies do not sponsor a move unless they have over enough written down, paper intelligence. If they don't have enough actual intelligence for it, they won't do something.
Yeah, they're smarter than you think.
My God.
They're smarter than you.
Basically,
Well, that's not hard to be smarter than you.
Of the Americans
Or you.
doing something without the greatest intelligence was going in after Bin Laden, because they even said 50-50 shot he's there or somebody else.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest risk an intelligence agency is going to take, is say, oh, it's 50-50 of a major target being here.
Actually, in World War II and the post years, there was pretty much a 70% chance that Hitler was in Argentina.
Yeah.
They had...
They found Hitler's last stand bunker in Argentina.
Yeah.
The one they had hidden up in the mountains.
The fuck
Which
are
is
you
hilarious.
doing, Panzer?
I'm not gonna either confirm nor deny the
Panzer
allegations that
must be
Zafira is
Nazi.
hiding in the Neil Fatland.
It
Actually,
all
he's
makes
been-
sense why you moved to Argentina.
Do you know nothing?
He's been hiding in Poland, actually.
No, he moved to Sudetenland just to take it over again. Guys, let's annex the Sudetenland!
Yeah.
Coming from the
Yeah, what
Jewish
the
one in the
fuck is
group?
all
Ah, Yuri, I was expecting better from you.
I'm fucking agnostic, you asshole!
I'm atheist, so fuck it.
Anyways, let's not get too much carried out with this, shall we?
Carried away.
Alright.
Panzer, it's too late for that.
Yeah. Anyways, the Islamic State says that they bombed this aircraft, or they got it down.
Damn it!
As retaliation for Mr. Vladimir Putin's, the president of the Russian Federation's, intervention in Syria.
Oh, sorry, he dropped a bunch of 1,000 troops in there with cruise missiles and ships.
Yep. Although, to be honest, it is quite a quick response from the Islamic State, if it is indeed an attack from the Islamic State, towards the Russian intervention.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, remember, it
they're
took-
too pussy to attack a military target. They go after civilians.
Yeah, but remember, it took Al-Qaeda about 2 years after the Iraq War to actually launch their retaliation in London and Madrid.
Remember, it's the Islamic State. They've been building up, and it's just a bunch of people who are pissed off.
True.
Not
Again,
a bunch of people in a cave.
Again, if this attack was indeed from... Well, I'm not gonna say attack, because we don't really know absolutely for sure. It is likely,
If
but
this act of...
let's call it tragedy, right?
if this crash...
Yeah. If this crash was something that ISIS did, it would have been done by the province of Sinai. Sinai. Is that how it is pronounced?
Yeah.
Sinai. In
And I
Egypt.
think it's more of a peninsula.
It is a peninsula, yeah. The Egyptian authorities have been battling a rebellion there for quite some time. Though it does not appear that the whole area is lost like the territories in Syria and Iraq.
Also, Egypt, in a monumental and historical move, finally realized Israel as a country.
Yeah, but they did that in 1972.
Oh, they admitted it recently.
No, it's the Camp David's Accords. Back after, well, not 1972, no. Sorry, that must have been 1979. But yeah, in the late 80s, late 70s, Egypt and Jordan signed a peace treaty with Israel. And they were basically the first two Arab states to actually recognize the state of Israel as a country. Most Egyptians and Jordans might actually differ with the decision of their government, but still, their government.
No one gives a shit about the civilians.
Yeah, Egypt and Jordan they don't really have democratic governments.
No.
Which for once is actually good, because after looking at how disastrous the Islamic State has been, the Arab Spring, has been for the entire region, I think that
Springtime has not come.
yeah, I think it would have been better for the Middle East to still have nationalist dictators like you know, Nasser or Saddam Hussein. I know Saddam Hussein was a crazy son of a bitch, but at least you could count on him not really going jihad on the rest of the world. He knew his place back in 2003. He knew where he had to stay, that he had to stay put. But no, Bush had to go in anyways.
You fucking Americans just had to go and kill him.
Well, technically the Iraqis themselves killed him, but yeah, the Americans helped. Anyways, the Arab Spring kind of overthrew a number of old-time dictators, or tried to overthrow some of the old-timey dictators, including most notably Gaddafi. And ever since, Libya has not seen a day of peace, which eventually led to the terrorist attacks in Benghazi. Oh yeah.
There was no start with, anyways.
Oh, hey, speaking of that, you guys knew that there's gonna be a Michael Bay movie about the incident, right?
Yeah.
We should have never gone into Libya.
No.
You guys should have never gone into the Middle East at all!
Well, I'm going to be frank. Libya, pretty much everyone I knew, everyone I talked to were saying that we should have never gone there or helped in the first place because, yeah, Gaddafi was a dictator, but he would literally roll over and let us pet his belly if we told them that's what we were going to do. Yeah. He was like a puppy.
Yeah,
a vicious puppy, but he was our puppy.
Basically, what you're trying to mean is that he was the lesser of two evils.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who isn't?
And I'm going to admit as well, we should have done something similar with Saddam. Pretty much, like, tell him, look, you can either be a dead man, or you could be a filthy rich dead man. Which would you prefer?
Yeah. Also, I mean, like, you guys would have sent humanitarian aid and all this to the country and all that.
Yeah. Anyways.
Why? Because he's an ally.
Anyways, considering that the United States is not anymore as interested in intervening in the Middle East as before, although they are.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah, they're sending special forces there. We're gonna get to that just in a moment, but first, just so we can wrap it up with the topic of this air crash and the current Russian intervention. What do you guys think is going to happen now if it is confirmed that the Islamic State is responsible of bringing down this Metrojet flight?
I hope their asshole's big enough.
Oh, big time, and I hope, and it's going to be a bad one because the Russians will send in a huge percentage of their Spetsnaz.
And also, I think that they're going to reroute the Kirov to be there.
Yeah. Do you guys think the intervention is going to expand to the peninsula of Sinai?
The Sinai Peninsula, that's all Israel and all that.
No, it's Egypt, but it's close to Israel, yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, you got to remember that Egypt and Israel are pretty friendly with the U.S. right now.
Yeah. I mean, like, Israel's ordering a bunch of F-15 Silent Eagles.
Yeah, the Egyptians are being supplied with a...
Israel, yes.
They're all being supplied with the American vehicles, too.
Yeah, but I don't know about so much about Egypt, because ever since they overthrew Morsi, and now the new El-Sisi government, and just as a side note, I think that the surname El-Sisi is just horrendously ridiculous.
I think you need a new name, yeah.
Sorry, Egypt, but your president needs a new name because, El-Sisi. Oh, God.
El Casadorio.
I think the Austrians had a princess called Sisi.
Yeah.
But yeah, Egypt, ever since the new government has taken place, Egypt has been, well, they have been trying to stay as an American ally, but the Americans officially don't provide aid to governments that have assumed power via a coup d'etat, which is what happened. But the United States is still nonetheless, however, providing some support to the Egyptian government.
Isn't there like F-16s under Egyptian command?
Yeah, the Egyptians got a lot of F-16s, but they got them back in the day of Hosni Mubarak. The Egyptians right now, they're mostly looking towards Russia for assistance because, back before the Camp David Accords, Egypt was a traditional Soviet ally, so they're maybe...
Well, of course. That's where a lot of their military stuff came from.
Yeah, so they might be trying to revive that in a similar fashion that Syria is, although Syria has always been a traditional Russian ally. Anyways,
Yes, the Syrians have because a lot of their shit came from Russia, while
Yeah.
the others are more our ally. Israel is more our ally because they get a lot of shit from the British, from the Americans.
It's a NATO country.
Yeah.
nearly there, yeah. So, it remains to see if Russia, what Russia is going to do. The Russians, surprisingly, the ones that have been the most quiet about the possibility of a terrorist attack involving the Metrojet crash are the Russians themselves. And I think that's because they were the first ones, along with the Egyptians, that they claimed that the aircraft was actually not shut down. But
They want to go
rather-
along with their like broken up mid-flight.
Yeah, they went straight away with the theory that it was a crash because, well, it would not look too good for Vladimir Putin or the Russian government if the aircraft had been downed because of a terrorist attack.
Who cares? It's happened before.
What,
He's got a good point. This happens quite a bit, and it should be nothing shocking right now to anybody.
Yeah,
Aircraft being shut down.
aircraft being downed.
Yeah, it's been very well. It's actually been pretty common back in the Cold War.
A shitty year for airline agencies.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Bunch of jets gone missing.
Russian aircrafts in particular seem to have a very nasty habit of going down. I remember
because there's that actually a recent cargo plane crash happened off, and it was a Russian cargo plane too.
Yeah. There was also a passenger airliner that was shut down back in the early 2000s. I believe it was shut down by Chechens when the Second Chechen War was going
Yes,
high.
but you also got to remember the Chechens they've been screwed over by the Russians a lot.
Yeah.
Expected to happen that they're going to go to as far as they don't care if they die, and it's not religious. It's just to show get the fuck out of our country.
It's basically fuck Russia and God bless Chechnya.
So yeah, it's not really hard to understand why this wouldn't be the same case with the Islamic State, of course. There was a video published by ISIS in which Russian-speaking members, so I assume Chechens, of course, they were, and if you are hearing this, Mr. Putin, I am terribly sorry, but they called you a swine, among other grievances.
Why would he say I am sorry?
Me? No, I am sorry.
The guy.
No, the sorry wouldn't say, that guy wouldn't say, I'm sorry. No, the guy just tell Putin that he was a swine. But I am sorry that I have to repeat what the other guy said.
Why are you sorry?
Because I am starting to like Putin a little bit again.
Oh my god, you're becoming
Putin is
14
crazy,
years
but
old.
I know,
He
right?
has balls.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah.
Well, with Putin, he doesn't have as much to lose as a lot of the other countries do.
Yeah, well,
That's why he sent in like a huge battalion of Russian Marines.
that remains to be seen. The Islamic State is still going strong, even if the Russians themselves, even if the Russians are claiming otherwise.
Because they're bombing the wrong people.
Right. So imagine when the Islamic State tries to go after the Russians. Well, I do not doubt that the Russians are more prepared for war against ISIS than the rest of the countries involved, specifically Iraq and Syria, which happened well, no, not hilariously. That's actually
That's unfair.
That's unfair, but they happen completely. Give me a minute.
Overwhelmed.
Yeah, they have been overwhelmed. They have been unable to fight ISIS. Give me a minute. I'll be right back.
Hi.
Hi.
We're Panzer's the one that normally talks the most, so.
Oh yeah, I'm back. Sorry.
Oh, never mind. He's back.
So yeah, Russian intervention. Personally, if I have to give an opinion of what's going to happen next, is that yeah, we will see. The Russians are not the kind to back down when they're being challenged.
No, they'll never lose face.
No. The Russians, and this is part of the Russian nature. The Russian nature is very macho. They're very machists. They take it very seriously when they're being challenged. You know, like when the different dogs are actually fighting over turf. The Russians are like that. The Russians do not back down. If you
They don't give a fuck what other people think.
No, they don't. Heck, they don't really care about what happens with their image in Ukraine or in Syria. They just
Exactly.
They just
That's
go
why
ahead
I
and do
said
it.
earlier Putin doesn't have as much to lose.
Yeah, but again, Russia is kind of getting itself into a quagmire in the same way America has done in the past. Because the Middle East, as we all know,
It's a powder keg.
it's a powder. Well, it's a powder keg that has been exploding ever since forever.
For 14,000 years.
Yeah. So
Ever since the Crusades, really.
it's basically that.
We do.
Yeah.
So we can all blame Christianity for fucking up the Middle East.
Actually, no. It's the exact opposite.
Actually, no.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No.
yeah, don't get carried away. You two behave.
We can blame the Romans.
Okay, yeah, we can. We're gonna blame this on the Italians. Fucking Italians.
Goddamn Italians.
Goddamn spaghetti.
Side with the Nazis, now look at what you got.
So yeah, like I was saying, I think the Russians are gonna be sending a few more troops into Syria, and possibly maybe into Iraq. Even though if it was a terrorist attack, they ought to be sending troops to Sinai, because that area is actually surprisingly prone to terrorist attacks. This wouldn't be the first one.
Nope.
And it wouldn't be the first one involving Sharm el-Sheikh either. I believe there were a few very brutal terrorist attacks in that peninsula. I think one involved the slaying of about 58 civilians. Let me check. Sharm el-Sheikh. Let's see. Where is history? Climate, economy, tourism, scuba diving. Oh no, here it is. 2005 Sharm el-Sheikh attacks were a series of terrorist attacks perpetrated by an Islamist organization on the 23rd of July 2005 in the Egyptian resort city of Sharm el-Sheikh. Let's see. There were about between 64 and 88 people killed.
Damn.
Let's see, the attacks took place in the early morning at a time when many tourists and locals were still out at restaurants, cafes, and bars. The first bomb blast took place at 1:15 a.m. Egypt summertime at the old market bazaar in downtown Sharm el-Sheikh, killing 17 people, mostly Egyptians. The bomber had to abandon his truck bomb in the market because of a police roadblock. The second bomb was hidden in a suitcase and exploded outside a Mövenpick hotel, killing 6 tourists. The final bomb was a truck bomb that was driven into the lobby of the Gazella Gardens Hotel, a 176-room 4-star establishment in the Nama Bay area, a strip of beachfront hotels some 6 kilometers from the town center. About 45 people died in the blast. The blasts were powerful, shaking windows miles away. Fire and smoke could be seen rising from the explosion sites. A responsibility, a group calling itself the Abdullah Azam Brigades. It has ties to Al Qaeda.
What'd you say the name was? Abdullah
Azam Brigades. I got the link here to the Wikipedia page. It's your typical terrorist organization. Its ideology is Sunni Islam, Islamic fundamentalism, Salafist jihadism. It's a Sunni Islamist militant group affiliated with Al Qaeda and the global jihad movements. Let's see. It doesn't seem. It seems to be pretty active across several countries.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, anyways. Still on the topic of Syria. The United States has decided. I think. Which one of you did actually call this topic USAC, the one with the presence of U.S. Special Forces, the deployment of Special Forces into Syria?
Most likely Zach. Zach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, the United States government has decided recently to deploy ground troops into Syria to fight the Islamic State.
Oh, but they won't be in combat.
They're not.
It's gonna be
Oh,
trainers.
you didn't hear about the death of a special operations trooper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy that rescued all those people.
The Delta Force.
Yeah, he wasn't in combat.
Technically.
Quotations.
Quotations. So you guys are sending guys into combat, but they will not be in combat yet. Technically they will not be in combat, but we'll know the truth. They will be in combat because Delta Force.
No, they won't be in combat. They'll just be in firefights and whatnot and police in action. So if they die, they still aren't in combat.
The best part is, remember when I mentioned the JTF-2?
Yeah.
There's a good chance they're probably there right now.
Oh, yeah.
We just can't talk about it because it's all hush-hush.
Hush.
Chances are Green Berets are over there already.
Who is
We
there?
know because everyone's vocal about their special forces except for Canada.
Oh, do you ever hear us talking about our Green Berets?
Yeah.
I haven't heard a lot ever since Vietnam.
Because they don't exist anymore.
Officially.
Yeah. Unfortunately for the guys that are unofficial, they're arrested.
The best special.
What are you doing? I'm a Green Beret! Ah!
The best special forces grip would be the one that nobody knows about.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think it's a safe bet to say that virtually everyone is in Syria and Iraq. I mean everyone. The
Iraq?
Delta Force, the Spetsnaz,
Yeah.
the
GSG-9.
Navy SEALs, the GSG-9. Well, no, that's police. You would mean the
Yeah, it's
KSK.
the anti-terrorist unit.
You would mean the KSK.
What's
Yeah.
KSK mean?
Kommando Spezialkräfte. Or
Kaskas.
basically the Special Forces Commando. Isn't that the
Special Forces Commando sounds a lot cooler.
Yeah, well, that's how it's the name in German. And I bet even the SAS are there.
Oh, yeah,
their
for
fucking
sure.
shit
And
is
the
secret.
SBS.
Yeah, them too. Fun times to be Special Forces.
Yeah. Are you in the Special Forces? Guess where you're going!
Lol. Back to the sandbox.
What time are we at?
We're basically 1 hour, 4 minutes, and
An hour and 4 minutes.
yeah, we're pretty much there.
You guys got an extra 4 minutes. Lucky you.
What do you mean, extra 4 minutes?
Well, didn't we already use up the hour?
Oh, yeah. You're talking about the audience. Oh. Yeah, they
Yeah.
got 4 minutes extra. Well, I don't remember if the last one actually lasted longer. Perhaps not. I don't know, it lasts 2 hours because of some error in the video. But, yeah. So...
Auf Wiedersehen!
Hey, let's not wrap it up. We could still talk it for another 5 minutes. Make it 1 hour or 10.
Auf Wiedersehen!
No, you're staying here.
Auf Wiedersehen!
Auf Wiedersehen, nothing.
Auf Wiedersehen something!
Sit down and
Auf Wiedersehen.
talk.
Make me.
Talk, I say. Talk or else.
Oh.
And this is where you say or else what?
We know that your or else is very, very minor, Panzer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, because if you had said or else, I would have said, nothing. I wasn't counting on you saying, or else what, because I'm making no sense, god damn it! My logic is not working. So yeah, I guess that's a good sign to actually wrap this episode up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Or Panzer bites his tongue or something.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be an interesting week. Hopefully we're gonna get some more topics to talk about, for the next podcast. So, right, I'm gonna thank everyone who's actually been sitting in front of their computers, listening to us and ramble about stuff. Do you guys have anything else to add?
Nope.
That's about it, right?
I am a magical donkey!
Alright. We're gonna wrap this
Hang
up.
on.
I'm gonna go eat dinner, then we're gonna play PR. So, for you, the audience, I have only this to say.
Auf
Go!
Wiedersehen!
Get out! Leave! We need
Get
to
the
play.
fuck out of here!
Yeah, because we need to play games and shit, so...
No, just get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Go.
get lost.
Go.
Bye.
You.
See you.
Huzzah.